Hi, everybody. Welcome to ES 2110 Statics. This is an introductory lecture to explain how the course works and to get you ready for everything that you need in order to be successful. So the first thing that becomes very important, critical even to your success, is being able to navigate the Moodle page. The Moodle page, because this is a hybrid class, hybrid meaning that um, part of the course is face-to-face and part of the course is online. So because this is a hybrid course, everything that you need to be successful is here on our class Moodle page. Now you access the class Moodle page by going to your student portal and going to the online courses underneath that tab. And when you go to that tab, you'll see that there are several different choices, whatever courses you're taking through Northwest College. If they have an online component, we'll have a Moodle page associated with that. So for us, that course is 26 Springs Statics, ES 2110. And everything that you need will be on that particular Moodle page. So when you take a look at the Moodle page for our class, you'll see a bunch of different things. I'm going to go through these with you and step you through them so that you know what to expect, and then talk about a little bit about the hybrid component, the online and the face-to-face component. So first of all, anytime that you need to meet with me, this link will get you where you need to go. So you can request a Moodle link through a scheduling appointment, or if there's something that we've decided to meet on, we can meet here as well. But the two links will be right here. The syllabus for the class, which I'm going to go over with you in detail in just a moment, is right here. And then we have a homework template, which is how I want your homework to look. And this is an example of engineering comp paper. Now, everything in this class has to be turned in through Moodle. I don't accept any handed in, like handwritten assignments or anything like that, uh, like brought to me on my desk. But you will handwrite your assignment on this kind of paper, engineering comp paper, and then you submit it through the Moodle site. Every time that there's a button that says submit, that's where stuff gets turned in. And so the one caution I would ask, or I would offer, is it has to be uploaded in either PDF file or in a pinch a JPEG file. I cannot accept anything else. So no HEIC, nothing off of an iPhone unless you convert it to either a PDF or secondarily a JPEG. But it all has to be written on engineering comp paper and then turned in through the Moodle page. All right, so here's some general information. Anytime you see a link like this, that means that it's a video, and there may be something of interest for you to see there. However, the videos that you must watch start with a number sign. So for example, here on our schedule, you can see that for week number 1, beginning January 13th, that you watch videos numbers 1, numbers 2, and numbers 3. Next week, number 4, 5, and 6, and then you'll turn in homework number 1. Statics lecture number 1, that's actually what I'm recording right now, will be here. And then you'll do statics lecture number 2, statics lecture number 3. Now, the point I want to make is these videos are the lectures. If you don't watch the lectures, you have missed class. So the content is all contained within those lectures. The lectures that have a number sign are the ones that are the sequential material that's required to pass this course. There are other lectures that may or may not be helpful to you. Then you can watch them as well, but the numbered lectures are required, and they're required according to this schedule. So before you do homework number 1, which we'll talk about in just a minute, you will have watched 6 lectures. You'll watch the first 3 this week and the next 3 next week. So continuing with that, there are different, like I said, there are different things, but the homework is going to be this unit conversion handout, because it says right here, submit homework number 1, unit conversion handout. So you want to look at the homework, you open this up, you take out the green engineering comp paper, and then you do the homework in accordance with that with that assignment. Anytime that you see the word submit, that means you have to turn something in. So one of my students a few years ago said they remembered submit for success. So anytime there's submit, that's what you turn in. In order to get ready to submit, you do the videos that are required reading here. So you see that the homework number 1 is due next week, the following week, homework number 2, and then the week after that, you'll have a quiz. And then 2 more weeks, homework number 3, followed by homework number 4, and then a midterm exam. Okay, so this is a schedule that you follow, and everything is posted here on the Moodle page. So chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, and then we talk about the midterm exam. Okay, now you'll have an updated piece of information here, but there are some things, some review problems that will help you. And then the midterm exam will be submitted here, but the midterm exam is proctored. The homework you do on your own or with your classmates, and it's open source. You can use notes, the internet, whatever you want. Same with the quiz, it's open source, but you can't work with your classmates. But the midterm exam is proctored and it is a solo endeavor. You'll be given a you'll be allowed to develop a sheet of notes that will help you get ready for the midterm and similarly for the final. But we'll talk about that later on. Right now, your job will be to do the homework and the quizzes and get ready for the midterm. Okay, so the other topics, this is about approximately half of the class. After spring break, you'll come back and there will be more information here. And we will work on that information until we're finished. We'll have a final exam at the end of the semester. Okay, now the next thing is we can pull this all together. And the easiest way to do that is to start with the syllabus. The syllabus for this class tells you the outline. And if you have any questions, like how much does this count for, or when, just any general questions, how do I get a hold of my professor? Where is her office? That sort of thing, refer to the syllabus. So once again, the syllabus is posted to our class Moodle page. So if you look right here is the syllabus. And if we open that up, we will have an option to take a look at everything that we need to know in order to succeed in this class. All right, so this course is ES 2110-1H, which means it's a hybrid course. The semester is spring 26. The classroom is either Zoom or SM137. What that means is that on Mondays, we will meet from 1 until 1:50 in SM137, and I will go over everything that's gone on in the week. However, I do not create a lecture. Like I'll never say, okay, now open your book to chapter 2 and start with this problem. Because this is a hybrid course, we're doing it opposite. So in other words, one word that they use or one phrase they use is flipped classroom, which means instead of coming to class to do the lecture and then doing your work elsewhere, you watch the lectures elsewhere and then you come to class and ask questions to help you do your work. So that's why we only meet 1 day a week. So the other thing is that time is directed by you, and I will answer any questions that you have and I will work any problems that you have, but I will never present new material because it is expected that you will be getting that new material on your own through the lectures that are posted to the Moodle page. All right, so statics is the first engineering science course in a classical curriculum. They've added UW and some other colleges, including Northwest College, have ES 1060, which is engineering computing for some engineering majors. But statics is a class that has been taught to engineering students for decades, literally since probably the 1940s, definitely since the 1950s. So for 75 years or more, statics has been part of a classical engineering curriculum. In order to take statics, you have to have completed Calculus 1. In rare cases, I will allow a student to take statics while they're taking Calculus 1, but in order for that to happen, we need to talk and visit and make sure that everybody understands what's going to be expected if that is to happen. But the prereq is Math 2200 Calc 1. Statics is a type of study called vector mechanics, and you will take several vector mechanic courses by the time you become an engineer, by the time you graduate with your degree. But this is the first. And statics basically means things that sit still. Although it's really not things that sit still as much as it is things that don't accelerate. So we'll talk about that and what that means mathematically when we get ready to solve some problems. The book that you'll use is Vector Mechanics for Engineers, Statics, and you can use whatever edition you like, but it has to be, the authors are Beer Johnson and some other people. But Beer and Johnson is classical engineering science text for statics. So this is one that you will need. The grades in this class, your homework, which there will be 8 to 9 homework assignments, are worth 10% of your grade. The quizzes, there will be 2 quizzes. They are worth 10% of your grade. The midterm exam, which like I said is proctored face-to-face, administered for 2 hours, will be worth 40% of your grade, and your final exam is worth 40% of your grade. If you get a 90%, you're guaranteed an A, and 80%, you're guaranteed a B. I reserve the right to round up. In other words, if you had an 89.6, I may decide to give you an A, an A minus, a B plus, or a B, just depending on how grades distribute. But if you get a 90.0, you're guaranteed an A no matter what, even if everyone else in class got 100. So I'll never round down, reserve the right to round up. So generally, like it says, 90 to 100 is an A and so forth. All of your homework must be scanned and submitted through Moodle. If you look at this homework policy, please turn in well-organized, neat, and coherent homework solutions with appropriate units. In engineering, units means feet per second, pounds, whatever units in the US customer system or the SI system or another system that we may use. But units are absolutely imperative, and they're 50% of your grade. So a number without a unit is not meaningful for an engineer. I want to say that again. A number without a unit is not meaningful. If I ask you how much money you have and you say I have 8, does that mean you have 8 pennies? Does it mean you have $8? Does it mean you have 8 euros? Does it mean you have 8 Dominican pesos? I don't know. So I can't assign a value to it until I know a number and a unit. That is required on your homework as well. And you'll be graded on process and format as well as your answers. So in the past, once in a while, I've had students tell me that they can do the homework and they can do the math in their head, and so can I. But that's not the point. The point is to present it on paper and make it nice and coherent and readable and legible, and that everything, your thought process, is diagrammed here as well. That is standard for the industry. One of the things that happens when you become an engineer is sometimes you have to present data to people who are not engineers. And when that is the case, you need to be very careful about how you do it. So your thought process is as important, or maybe even more important, as your answer. So if you were to compare this to an English class, you'd think about every statics problem as being an essay problem. It's not a fill in the blank or a true and false or a short answer. They're all essay problems. Only the essays are in pictures and math. All right. So having said that, we can take a look at the Moodle page for some final thoughts. The final thoughts are the best way to succeed in this class is to watch all of the required videos, turn the homeworks in on time, take your quizzes and turn them in on time, and by doing those things, prepare yourself for the midterm exam and then later for the final. The lectures with numbers are required, so that's just the most important point I can make. And when we meet on Monday afternoon at 1 o'clock, I will not present new lecture material. I will ask you questions and help you with whatever you're having trouble with or anything that is not fully comprehensible or is confusing to you. Every time that the word submit comes up, you have something to turn in. So you need to turn it in order to get a grade. And aside from that, if you have any questions or if some of this doesn't make sense, the next thing to do is to visit with me. And like I said, there are ways to visit with me. You can set an appointment with Calendly. You can come by my office. You can call me, or you can email me. If you call me, please do not leave a voicemail because I don't check my voicemail. But you can text me or reach me by phone or email me or come by my office or set an appointment with Calendly and I'll be here available. We can also meet via Zoom or face-to-face, depending on your schedule. So that's it for today. Welcome to class. Get started with the material for chapter 1 this week. We'll meet Monday and we'll answer any questions that you have. But if you have questions before then, do not hesitate to reach out and come see me or visit with me, and we'll get you squared away. All right, so everyone have a wonderful day. Have a go at our Moodle page. Get started. Let me know if I can help. And otherwise, we'll see you Monday.